What's up, motherfuckers? It's me, Soya Des. Wait, Soya Des? Like Soya Des? What the heck?
Editor note, just a little warning. There's some flashing lights in the final section of this video. Nothing too bad, but I just thought I'd let you know. Okay, bye!
So I'm going to do that annoying thing where I tell you if you haven't seen my previous videos. This one might not make as much sense to you, but that's okay. I'm obviously not going to make you watch all 5 of my videos. Well, 6 if you include the music video, and I do, but just know that if you have any questions about what I'm telling you, I might have already answered them in one of the previous videos. And if all this sounds interesting, maybe give the playlist a watch, you know, while you eat and dissociate and watch funny YouTube videos for a while. So yeah, hi, it's me, the Desis Human Girl, and I have a confession. I might be wrong. I may be, well, I know I'm wrong. I know I've been wrong about a lot of things. Okay, this isn't for a bit. I've been wrong. And I know I was wrong about, for example, this little bird not being birdly. I had a lot of comments disagreeing with me on that one. But now I realise, you know, this whole game is about the same story repeating itself. So birdly being a blue bird that blocks us going forward that we need to deal with is this. You're correct. But it's also the Gaster penguin, because they're the same thing, because this whole game is the same thing over and over again. I still do believe that this is foreshadowing an event that has yet to happen, where we need to get past this fucking Gastarbator over here who keeps blocking us, much like how most of the Sword Root dungeon hasn't actually transpired yet either. And I also still believe that this answer, in a question where each answer corresponds very clearly to a lightner, as I explained in my Sword Magician video, is a clue about what the fuck this guy's supposed to be. Like, this guy fried Onion. Okay, Onion's fucking dead, bro. And Onion lives in the water, and this guy killed him because he's a water bird. He's a penguin, because all the Gaster followers are related to water. Holy crap, it's time for the first bonus theory! That's right, we got some new theories in this video by popular demand. The water is in some way emblematic of the data of the game itself. The water that runs right the way through the entirety of Undertale into Dr. Gaster's core. I believe this is what Gaster fell into, why he's fractured in this weird way that he is. This is why darkness from these fountains, you know, like a water fountain, can create all this shit. I believe the power of water is why human souls are more powerful than monster souls, because humans are made of this mysterious water, just like Undertale makes sure to tell us. They're made of the data, right? Like, I believe this is why Noelle is so good at freezing things, be that video games she plays or video games she's in. Oh, and yes, the Gaster followers are all related to water. This guy, a penguin, a water bird. Clam Girl is a clam, right? Okay, good. You don't need me to tell you why that's connected to water. Ficus Licker, it's pronounced Ficus over here, by the way, right? Okay, I see you writing that comment. He's licking the dew of a fucking ficus. He's licking the water. Yellow Kid, he's staring out over the water. Purple Guy works at AC's. He even gets dunked in the water in his little Chapter 5 game. Spider Donut Guy, he's eating a donut made with spider cider, a beverage made of water. Okay, this guy's the one guy that I don't know if I fully get his connection to water. Damn it. I'm probably wrong again. It's scary making videos like this, where the opinions I have about what's going to happen in Deltarune at this moment in time are set in stone forever. Once I upload this video, I can't exactly take it all back. So all this confidence I'm showing in my dumb crash outs is probably going to come back to haunt me someday if I'm wrong, especially if I'm wrong about one person in particular. The internet's an unforgiving place, right? Like, what if I become a joke for being so loud about an unpopular theory? What if people make fun of me on the internet for being wrong? What if I'm going to be the one to give the Pope Deltarune in 5 years? What then, huh? No, I need to calm down, or I'll crash out online about December again, and I'll reveal her secret, and I just need a second, okay, just to calm down. A second? Pff, you asked for it. Bonus theory 2! Everything is a Deltarune. All the stuff I've said about how Deltarune is a story about the same story repeating itself over and over again, about the nature of creating art and the hero's journey and archetypes and inspiration itself, you know, hence Dragon Blazers being based on Lord of the Hammer, being inspired by the prophecy, Deltarune, Undertale, Toby proudly bearing his inspirations for his games front and centre, even in his musical works, you know, just like Des probably got the melodic ideas for Don't Forget in the game's story from the hymns she heard at church, just like Toby was inspired by the games he played growing up, like Mother. It's not just Lord of the Hammer, guys. Literally everything in this game is just the same story but with small adjustments. There is a repeating pattern throughout Hometown of the same 4 colours of the Deltarune making up groups of characters. It's all over Hometown. I go to church to hear the hymn and it's there. I go outside to the library and it's there. Her parents are even fucking angel wings. I go to Sansa's shop for some milk and it's there with the 2 people present. I go to the festival and the fucking penguin's blue and yellow and the fucking purple guy's purple and green. Actually, he's all 4 colours if you include the icy hat. Everything is a Deltarune. The story's across town and in the Dark World. It's Deltarunes the whole way down, bro. With the angel of the story being sacrificed in some way. The Dreamer family, Deltarune. Asgore's the angel in yellow. Our story with Flowery, Deltarune, with the angel in yellow sacrificed at the end. Yellow, Deltarune. They're even standing in the shape of a Deltarune. And his whole story is about how he needs to die to right everything. Fucking pizza pants, Deltarune. Are you seeing this, dude? His little ears make angel wings and his little hat and little hair make a diagonal slash like the angel in the final prophecy. I am seeing through the fucking matrix right now, dude. I am breaking through the fucking... I'm breaking free! Well, that didn't help. Now I look even more insane. Now I almost look like I'm intentionally writing some kind of deeper meaning in this video about the dichotomy of being a Deltarune theorist and the struggle between passion and fear to build to some kind of epic climax. There's no way that would work. That would be way too layered and meta for some random Deltarune theory video you just found on the internet. There's no way I'd be putting something like that in the middle of a theory video, right? Oh, I know something else that's in the middle and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Final! Three. Collecting all the eggs is going to make Chris remember the Forgotten Man enough to create the room between in the inevitable hospital Dark World. For Chris to remember enough of what they are repressing to allow us to enter this art therapy room and see what it really looked like, to see what was really behind the tree. Do I have any evidence for this other than it being really cool? Nah, not really. But come on, dude, it'd be awesome. Look at the trunk of the tree. Look at the weird shape that it is. It's almost like it's been sliced diagonally. This branch even looks like Flowery's arm when he dies like this. The roots look like flowing blood pouring into the soil. I bet when you remove this tree, the thing that's behind it doesn't actually look much different than what we're already seeing. This has to be the answer. Look, I'm yelling at you, and the music's really epic, so I must be right? Okay, enough! I get it. If I'm going to say what I want to say to you now, I need to accept the possibility of being mocked. I need to accept that I might become a clown. I need to push past this fear I've had that's been holding me back and embrace who I really am.
Is to not be remembered as the Death's human girl in a year when this is all wrong, okay, please?
If I have to become the Death's human girl for the rest of time, so be it. This whole video, I've been charging my alt. If I'm going down, I'm gonna burn like the sun. The gingerbread, the ginger guard, an armor piece that comes from the prize machine, like a bunch of other death stuff, like the triangle and the 1-2-5 room, is shape is humanoid in nature, just like the missing human gingerbread cutters from the holiday home. You know, the gingerbread cutters that the dreamers also have to share gingerbread at Christmas with everyone to help any humans that may be present feel like they belong. Why do you think there's so much attention being drawn to the gingerbread and the cutters? Why specify the human shape? Why do you think Toby's planting this shit everywhere and then calling the song that plays in the holiday home Gingerbread House? Come on, dude! Oh, Noel, sweet cinnamon bun Noel, you just can't help yourself, can you? You just have to keep giving us clues. It's not your fault, really. Chris is the one forcing you to try and wear things like the blue shoes. Get a messed up of them. You know she can't wear normal shoes, Chris. Which is funny, because those shoes in December's closet sure look pretty normal to me. Toby's just really stressing this particular detail about Noel, huh? I wonder why. But this isn't the only human item you've had an issue with, is it, Noel? Noel has some pretty weird reactions to glasses, too, like the Dealmaker glasses that seem familiar. You know, like how she reacts to all the other stuff that seems to do with December. Those specs that belong to Seth, who's the only person that refuses to equip them. Noel. Why? That's too much like who, Noel? Berkeley? Bit of a melodramatic response if it's just that you don't want to look like a fucking nerd. Sounds more like it's stirring the memory of someone that's emotionally affecting you here. Glasses? That's what humans wear. Isn't that right, Aqua? I mean, most of us humans have headwear, right, Orange? Sure do love wearing my fake ears, huh, Pink? Open your eyes. When you're split from Chris in chapter 4 as the
the soul alone in the vents. The song that plays is called The Distance Between Two. Would you agree if I said I think it's a fairly logical interpretation to say that it's called Distance Between Two because of the distance between us and Chris, the distance between the soul and the vessel? I would say that sounds about right. Would you agree with that? I hope so, because I baited you yet again. Because surprise, this song is literally just the Lost Girl motif played on a guitar. This is the dessiest song that ever dissed. So gee, it makes me wonder who we're really distant from here, who we're actually apart from. Asgore talks about his desire for justice in his flashback scene, and he's yellow like justice and also like the angel. When he talks about how his determination consumed him, he turns from yellow to red, from justice to determination. So the colours here clearly mean something to do with the soul colours, right? Cool. So if you don't remember, Chris is cyan, by the way. Oh, you think that's just a coincidence? You think Aqua being a cyan soul that looks exactly like Chris is also a coincidence? Doing human poses like Chris and also like the knight, having an obsession with knives just like Chris, just like the knives the human shopkeeper wants, you know, the one that also wants a ribbon like a cyan soul would want, like the red one that Aqua wears that looks exactly like a red soul on their head, just like the red headband that Chris was obsessed with, like a cyan soul would be, the one that establishes that horns we see in the story can be fake, right beside the only shot we've ever seen of December Holiday with her antlers. Tommy just mentioned fake antlers, the exact wording in a Deltarune fanfic story on his official Tumblr that he wrote. Got any other Deer Girls, boss? We gotta have competition. Maybe we could glue something to Ralphie's head, like some fake antlers. Hey guys, I think I've got a glue. The snowmen you made each have 2 branches stuck diagonally in their fucking heads. What purpose does this serve? Why do any of this over and over and over and over and over again as a writer that is famous for constant foreshadowing? Oh, you thought I was done? We're done when I say we're done. Still don't believe that the girl that has Fradion and buttons like the stuff keeping Shom together and the boy that has Shom on his computer wallpaper have anything to do with Dark Worlds. Still don't believe that maybe this was also a Deltarune of some kind. Look, even I was still maybe 1% on the fence about the whole everything is repeating itself thing, until it was confirmed that Ralphie's concealing fire magic from Susie, just like I predicted he was doing, to try and get a better ending than whatever one Destin Asriel got, to not teach fire magic to the girl like Shom, the magician, did to December to create the fiery sword magician. Please bless my cats so they may do extra fire damage, and bless the cats of others so they may also do extra fire. I don't know, have you seen any cats around here that look like they maybe do fire magic? Level 5, Shattered Rose. Only one knows the rose's meaning. That's right, and it's me.
I'm Rudy, and I'm dying, and I'm going to reference Beauty and the Beast when you inspect my flowers and say, well, that's not going to work because we're both beasts. You know, the famous story of a human girl and a monster boy falling in love with one another. Oh my god, how much more can we possibly spell this out?
The roses are so clearly linked to the theme of love at this point, and particularly the Holiday Sisters. Why do you think all the stuff to do with Noelle and the Weird Root is about thorns? That's because that version of the story, that interpretation of the angel that Gersten speaks of in Undertale, is the wrong interpretation of love, both literally and in the Toby Fox creepypasta sense, the wilted, thorny rose of a twisted love. That's why these roses, in full bloom, talking about Beauty and the Beast, signify the pure love of December and Asriel's. That's not going to work because you're both beasts, Rudy. You need a human and a monster for the metaphor to work. Well, maybe that's because it's not really about you now, is it? Also, if you look really closely, the centre of the roses look like little red souls. Just thought I'd mention that. Hurt, beaten, and fearful for our lives, we surrendered to the humans. That's really cool lore, dude. Damn it, sorry guys. The knight's really beating my ass right now. Susie's not looking so great. She's hurt and beaten. Literally the only use of this line in Deltarune. Chris is kneeling and we're surrendering to the princess ribbon, an elegant lace ribbon with gloves. You know, a ribbon like humans really like the ones that Noelle is nostalgic about. And it's a princess one, you know, for a girl. Let's give it to Susie. Oh, the gloves don't fit. I guess it's not for you. What about you, Elsie? Oh, the gloves don't fit you either. I wonder who these gloves do fit. Oh, what's that, Noelle? Oh, it's Chris. The human. The gloves of the princess ribbon don't fit a monster. They're specifically for human hands. I wonder if there's any human girls with links to the Dark World and ribbons that these would be a perfect fit for. My name is Soya motherfucking Death, and December Holiday, the Lost Girl, is a human being.